All right, no filter MMA family. This is your boy BJ, and I'm back with some shit to talk about, guys. Woo! Where you guys at? Where you guys at, guys? Woo! Got some shit to talk about. The you so man, no UF for one. No UFC, no MMA this week has sucked. It has sucked. Like man, it was like man, we've been getting hit left and right with good MMA, Bellator, UFC, one. We've been getting hit with some good MMA lately. And man, we had this off week and it's like fuck. Reggie the Tree in the building. What is up, man? What's going on, brother? Up on this Sunday morning, relaxing. Seen some news pop up as I start scrolling and shit. And I said, man, I gotta get on here and talk about this, man. I gotta get on here and talk about this, see what everybody thinking about this. So the UFC is cutting the fuck out of people. Like the UFC is cutting people, man. I mean, it's cutting people that ain't really. They cutting ranked fighters, bro. This is crazy. So the first thing I seen was UFC cuts Elias Theodorou. Why dude, I am completely shocked that they cut Elias Theodorou. Like, and this was on BJPen.com. So if you guys want to see, let's see. Well, I just turn my. Let me see. Just turn my screen sharing on so y'all can see what I'm talking about. Let me get this going, guys. Hold on. Share screen. Yeah, okay. All right. Tell me if you guys can see that. BJ Penn says UFC cuts Elias Theodorou and 3 others. I don't know, man. I think, Reggie says, how do I feel about the cutting? What's the motive? I don't know, man. I'm thinking, what I'm saying? Because there's a lot of people coming into the Contender Series, man. There's a lot of Contender Series people that I've been seeing a lot of advertisement for. So I feel like, and then of course there's a lot of flyweights too. Let me read this. I think they're just trying to make way for new people, new superstars. I guess not new superstars, but I guess the UFC is tightening up the competition because I mean Elias Theodorou. A lot of people rag on Elias Theodorou, man. I mean Elias Theodorou for one was ranked. You know what I'm saying? He was ranked, a ranked middleweight. He was 8-3 in the UFC. He was last. Let's see. No, 15. So the co-main event. Yeah, let's see what this says. Lackluster. It was a lackluster fight. So what? I mean, people. He went. Let's see. 1-3. No, that was Marcelo Gomez. Hold on. They was just showing it. Anyway, Elias Theodorou was. Wait a minute, guys. I mean, people say Elias Theodorou was a born fighter. Let's see what you said. It's a great estimate. Push people out to lift others up. That could be. Yeah, man. I think that's kind of what the motive is. But Elias Theodorou, I personally, people called him a born fighter. People call Elias Theodorou a born fighter. I didn't have a problem with Theodorou. I appreciated his style. I appreciated that point style fighter that Elias Theodorou is because you got to think about it, guys. Elias Theodorou ain't trying to take no whole. He ain't trying to take no whole lot of damage. You know what I'm saying? Like, who wants to take that much damage? You know what I'm saying? Elias Theodorou is a long fighter. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I think he's a long fighter and he fights at distance. He's a safe fighter. I don't see a problem with the way Elias Theodorou fight. He wins fights. You know what I'm saying? That's like people was talking about Tyrone Woodley. His style is boring. He wins fights. You know what I'm saying? I mean, this is mixed martial arts, guys. This is not the WWE. Everybody doesn't have to go in here and engage in a bloody brawl. You know what I'm saying? Like when you see those fighters taking the safer routes, you know what I'm saying, but still coming out with the win, so what? If it's up to their opponent to shut them down. If the opponent sees that that's what they're doing, it's up to them to make it their fight instead of letting this type of fighter control the fight. I appreciate Elias Theodorou's style of fighting. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't bother me one bit. I like to see him fight. You know what I'm saying? Because he's awkward. He's weird in his approach. Um, he's more like a volume striker. He. I mean, his style is awkward, but I've seen Elias Theodorou be successful with his style of fighting. And it is what it is to me. You know what I'm saying? I think it's kind of fucked up. Elias Theodorou could probably do well in Bellator or something like that. You know what I'm saying? He could do well in Bellator. He has his modeling thing. You know, but I would still continue to watch Elias Theodorou fight. He's probably going to go to one, or he's probably going to go to Bellator. She's going to go to one of the bigger promotions. You know what I'm saying? Because he's a top 15 middleweight. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he's a top 15. He's a ranked fighter in the UFC. Let's make it happen. You know what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck? Anyways, guys, he's not the only person to get cut. They cut Wilson Hayes. Guys. Wilson Hayes that was a shock, dude. It says the UFC, they were talking about Theodorou, said along with Theodorou, the UFC has also released Wilson Hayes, who was one of the top flyweights in the world. Yes, he was. Wilson Hayes was coming off of a TKO loss to Alexander Pantoja, who has lost 4 of his last 5 fights. And with the flyweight division being slowly dissolved, he was next to go. He was one of the top 15 flyweights in the UFC rankings before being cut. Wow. So they cut Wilson Hayes. So guys, maybe the rumors that they were going to cut the flyweight division and build the featherweight women's division. Maybe that was true. Guys. A lot of people were saying they're going to dissolve the men's flyweight division and build the women's featherweight division. And that's what's happening. You got now all of a sudden you slowly hearing rumors of UFC female featherweights being signed to the UFC. We got Felicia Spencer, who just came in. You got let me find out exactly. You got B Malecki coming in. There's a few more of them. They both have fights booked. So let's see. Let me look it up for you guys. I'm just trying to figure it out. I know I can't remember all their names off the top of my head because some of them I'm not familiar with. But the point is, let's see. Well, that's just what Megan Anderson was talking about. Like I said, guys, some of the names I'm not really familiar. Just want to beat Megan Anderson and Zara Franz, I believe that's what that name was, is being signed. I swear to God, y'all, I forget shit and it bugs me, man. I forget shit and it bugs the shit out of me if I'm not looking. I gotta go back and look. Let's see. Caitlin Young. That's who it is. That's the other person. Zara Farron is getting signed. It's fucking crazy. So I mean, they are signing women to fight at featherweight, and they are cutting flyweights. So they dissolving it, and I'm pretty sure they are banking a lot on this fight that this Henry Cejudo fight. They're banking on Henry Cejudo winning this fight. You know what I'm saying? They're banking on him winning this fight because if he wins this fight and becomes the bantamweight champion, they're going to do away with the flyweights. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they're going to do away with the flyweights. If Henry Cejudo beats Marlon Moraes and becomes the bantamweight champion, they're going to do away with it. I just feel it coming. I just feel that coming. Like they'll do away with the flyweight division. So, and I think Henry Cejudo knows that. I think he rid of them, getting rid of the flyweights. So, I mean, he's in a good position. Like I said, Henry Cejudo got the steam behind him. If he wins this fight, you know what I'm saying? He could, if he wins this fight, that could be goodbye to the flyweight division, which I think is going to be goodbye for the flyweight division anyway. And then they also cut Eric Shelton. You guys know Eric Shelton. Eric Shelton got cut by the UFC. Eric Shelton was on the Ultimate Fighter. I think he was on the Champions season. The winner of that fight was gonna challenge Demetrius Johnson. And yeah, so so they are really doing away with this flyweight division, man. Like no joke. And then it was also damn, it's just hard to believe that Elias Theodorou got cut by the UFC, man. I can't believe they cut him. Damn, that's crazy. But they cut a heavyweight. They cut Marcelo Gone from the UFC too. So I mean, they cutting people, man. It's like the UFC is like trimming. They trimming the edges off of these divisions, man. Like they really, it seems like they're tightening up these divisions. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. It's just like they're trimming it because I think they're gonna cut Megan Anderson next. I think Megan Anderson is the next person to be gone from the UFC. I mean, I hate to say that. I really hate to say that, guys. I do, because the featherweight division needs a Megan Anderson, but Megan Anderson getting in here and getting beat. Like Megan is getting in here and getting beat. So I don't know, man. What do y'all think, man? What do y'all think the UFC got going on? Because they cutting people. I mean, who you guys think could also be next to get cut? Like if Lena Landsberg loses this fight, I forgot who Lena Landsberg is fighting. Tanya Evinger. If Tanya Evinger beats like Lena Landsberg, you know what I'm saying? If she beats Lena Landsberg, they're gonna cut Lena Landsberg. You know what I'm saying? If I would say Carla Esparza, because I mean they cut Elias Theodorou. Elias lost that fight and they cut him. So I believe and he was a tough winner. Like Elias Theodorou was an Ultimate Fighter winner. She just beat Verna Jandiroba. She did okay, yeah. Okay, well, probably not Carla Esparza. Well, hell, you never know. She 2-1 in her last 3. I mean, 1-2 in their last 3. So I mean, Elias Theodorou, man, they did Elias Theodorou wrong, man. That's fucked up. They did Theodorou wrong. I believe so. I believe so. But anyways, I just wanted to get on here and talk, guys. I didn't know if you guys had heard the news. I was just trying to put that news out there that the UFC is slicing and motherfucking dicing. But I feel that the UFC felt like someone like Elias Theodorou with that style. I guess they felt like, Elias, even if he was to keep winning, he wouldn't be that much of a draw. You know what I'm saying? Because of his fight style and stuff. So I think that's why they probably got rid of Theodorou. I mean, it wasn't even a good fighter. So Jerry, you talking about Theodorou? I don't think he sucked, man. Like I said, I liked his style, man. I liked his point style fighting. You know what I'm saying? Like I appreciate it, like a Stephen Thompson type, like a Joanna Jędrzejczyk. I like that point style fighting. Now I also like a scrappy brawler too. You know what I'm saying? I like those scrappy fighters. So those are the two styles that I really like. I like a good point fighter. And I like a good good scrappy fighter like Felicia Spencer. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the style I like. I appreciated the way he fought. A lot of people do not appreciate the way he fought. I don't have a problem with it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, but the thing about Elias was Elias's style won him fights. We can't say that we can't say anything about that. You know what I'm saying? His style won him fights. That point style of fighting, that clinch work. He does a lot of clinch work too. I appreciate it, man. I think he'd do well in another promotion. Let's see. He lost to Derek Brunson. He beat Eric Anders, who just looked phenomenal in his last fight. You know what I'm saying? He beat Trevor Smith. He beat Dan Kelly. He lost to Brad Tavares. He beat Sam Alvey. He beat Cesar Ferreira. He lost to Thiago Santos. I mean, he won. He beat Roger Narvaez, however you say his last name. Beat Bronson Santos. He beat Sheldon Westcott to win the Ultimate Fighter. I mean, Elias Theodorou, dude. Elias Theodorou's record is pretty stacked. I mean, that's an impressive record. He may have, dude. So does Juliana Pena. Juliana Pena got the ugliest striking I've ever seen. But Juliana Pena whoops ass. I mean, dude, you have to admit Elias Theodorou has a good resume, bro. I mean, he's got wins. He's got wins over Dan Kelly. He's got a win over Eric Anders. He has a win over Trevor Smith. He has a win over Sam Alvey. He's been in there with Thiago Santos. He's been in there with Derek Brunson, and he's been in there with Brad Tavares, dude. That is Juliana Pena sucks. Stop. Dude, stop. Don't do that. Juliana Pena, come on now. But yeah, dude, this is crazy. This is wild. The UFC is getting people. Now, let's see, now if you look at all respect, no disrespect to Eric Shelton. Eric's my boy. So like I said, guys, Eric's been in Eric Shelton's been on my podcast a couple times. Joanna killed that girl. She didn't fight Juliana Pena. Juliana Pena is a bantamweight. Like Eric Shelton, when he came into the UFC, he lost to Pantoja. He lost to Jared, but they were all decisions. Like, he's never been finished. You know what I'm saying? But he lost to Jared Brooks, and he beat Janelle Lauza Then he lost to Alex Perez. Then he beat Joseph Morales. And then he lost to Jordan Espinoza. So, I mean, Eric Shelton's he's had it rocky since he came into the UFC. So I kind of see why. And he was a former champion. He was the Cage Aggression flyweight champion. But I don't see why they cut Elias Theodorou. I mean, I can understand why they cut Eric Shelton. Let's look at Wilson Hayes. His record. I can't remember everybody's record. Who the fuck can remember everybody's record? Let's see. Wilson Hayes. See, Wilson Hayes, he was on the streak. He beat Dustin Ortiz, Hector Sandoval, and Oka Sasaki, and that got him a title shot. Those 3 in a row got him a title shot. And he lost to Demetrius Johnson. That's the flying armbar. He lost to Henry Cejudo, lost to John Moraga, beat Ben Nguyen, whatever how you say. I've never been good at that. Yeah, dude, the greatest benefactor. Yeah, bro, they cut Elias Theodorou. And then Wilson Hayes lost to Pantoja. So, I mean, he's 4-1 in his last 5. You know what I'm saying? So I see why they cut Wilson Hayes. But to see why they cut Elias Theodorou, I mean, that was just wow. I'm shocked by that. Like, if they cut Elias Theodorou, they cutting anybody. I'm telling you. If they cut Elias Theodorou, who was a top 15 ranked middleweight, lost a fight after being on a win streak. Let me go back to his record. Because I always, people always ragged on Elias, but I'm like, yeah, but Elias got a good record, man. Like, yeah, y'all talking shit about Elias, but he was coming up for a 3-fight winning streak. Oh, yeah, over Dan Kelly, Trevor Smith, and Eric Anderson. He lost to Derek Brunson in a decision. Oh, dude, I'm a fan of Eric Shelton. I like Eric Shelton, dude. Oh, absolutely. He's a great guy. Great guy. Love talking to him, dude. But, man, I just can't believe. Dude, the UFC will cut anybody if they cutting people like Elias Theodorou. Ranked. And Wilson Hayes was ranked, but he has been getting his ass beat. You know what I'm saying? Like, who else do you guys think can get cut? Who else getting cut from the UFC? If they'll cut a top 15 ranked middleweight, who else do you guys think they'll cut? They got Eddie Alvarez up out of there. They got Eddie Alvarez the fuck up out of there. Damn, man, this is wild. But I think that, like I've said many times in this podcast, I think they trimming it up. Cody, Jared, good one. I could see Cody Garbrandt getting cut. If Cody Garbrandt don't get a W in there somewhere, I feel like they'll cut him. I think they'll cut him, dude. I think they will cut him. Absolutely. He's a good candidate to get sliced the fuck out. Damn, I didn't even think about that. Never thought about that. But fucking A, man. Elias Theodorou. I can't get over that. Like, that's some of that left wing shit that the UFC. That's some curveballs that the UFC throws at us, man. I mean, the UFC will throw a curveball at you in a minute with these damn fucking fighters and shit. And and then when you hear about a top fit, like, it was shocking. If the first shot that they did this is when they got rid of Eddie Alvarez. I'm like, wait a minute. You know what I'm saying? Like, this dude is coming off of these wars, you know what I'm saying? And you're gonna send him to one fighting chance, even though I'm pretty sure it was a mutual thing, but they got rid of him. They got rid of Demetrius Johnson. You know what I'm saying? Like, wow, I was like, okay, the UFC. But then again, that was the whole, marketability thing. Like, he wasn't really that marketable. Yeah, Uriah Hall could be one of them. Good shit, Jared Stoutman. Uriah Hall could be one of them. Yeah. So like I was saying, like Demetrius Johnson, he could really, promote the fly. He wasn't that type of guy. He just went out there and put on spectacular performances. He wasn't much of a he just didn't really. He wasn't very marketable. He's a weird guy. He's a weird guy. But somebody like Elias Theodorou, like that's just it's wild. That's just one of the guys. He works for Invicta. He's he's got a lot of female followers. You know what I'm saying? And he's a decent fighter. Like Elias Theodorou is a decent fighter. And they cut him. Arpit, what's up, man? What's up, Arpit? My dude is in the building. Arpit Singh. Yeah, man. So let's look at the middleweight rankings. Let's look at the middleweight rankings. Look at the rankings. Cyborg is next. No. Man. All right, let me get to the middleweights. All right, so yeah, they took him out of the rankings. He's gone. Let me just pull this up to show y'all. Let me show y'all real quick. Share. Okay, y'all. I'm here. Let me know if y'all can see that. What's up, Jay? Israel Adesanya, you remember? I mean, it's J.K. Ian, Highness, Brad Tavares, and Antonio Carlos Jr., Uriah Hall, David, and they still got Uriah Hall ranked. I think Cyborg and Megan is next because Dana have no interest in women featherweight. No, man. No, Arpit. I think you're wrong, buddy. I think you're wrong, man. I think the UFC is getting rid of the flyweight division to make the women's featherweight division because the featherweight division they're signing featherweights, man. They're signing featherweights and they cutting flyweights. So, I mean, it looks to me like that was the true rumor. People got away from that rumor. You know what I'm saying? I think that was what was going to go the fuck down. They really are doing it. Looks like they really are doing it. But dude, I would love to see Cyborg versus Megan next. But I think Felicia gonna get that. Felicia gonna take on Cyborg next. That's what I feel like, man. I think Felicia Spencer gonna go in there and try to hang in there with Cyborg. So I think that's the next fight. Okay, Jared. If Israel beats Robert, which I'm Team Whitaker, but if Israel wins, how does he beat Yoel? Like, dude, I said it in my last couple of videos. If you look at my last couple of videos, when I was talking about, I just did an Adesanya Whitaker video. I don't think he beats Yoel Romero. I don't think Israel Adesanya beats Paulo Costa. You know what I'm saying? I think that was the fight. Paulo Costa versus Israel Adesanya is the fight that they should have made. That was the fight that should have been made, but they didn't want to give. I don't think they wanted to feed Israel to Paulo because Paulo Costa would have. I'm telling you, dude, Israel Adesanya will lose to Paulo Costa, man. I'm telling you, dude, like Paulo Costa is one of the scariest guys in that division. And Johnny Walker was like, man, Johnny Walker said it, man. He was like, he said, seeing Paulo Costa at weigh-ins and shit. He said, dude, when you standing across the octagon from Paulo Costa, you know what I'm saying? He said that is a huge man. He said it. He said that is a big man. That's what I'm saying, dude. If Paulo Costa can land clean, the body shots too, dude. The body shots. Oh, that's how he finished Uriah Halls with body shots, bro. Paulo Costa is a fucking nightmare. Him versus Yoel Romero is going to be a fucking good fight. Dude, Yoel Romero is ranked number 2. If Paulo Costa beats him, who the fuck is Paulo Costa fighting next? Who the fuck is he fighting next? All right, let's see what y'all talking about. Whitaker is the worst matchup for Israel. Yeah, man. That is a terrible matchup for Israel Adesanya, man. I like Israel Adesanya. I know it sounds like by me saying, Paulo Costa beats him and Robert Whitaker beats him. Guys, I don't know. No, man. I don't know. It ain't that I don't like Israel. I like Israel Adesanya. But people kind of got on him a little bit, you know what I'm saying? Like, people jumped on him because he was good. You know what I'm saying? He's a good undefeated guy. He's a style bender. But you are in a division with some fucking killers. The top 10, Jared Cannonier, number 10. Number 9, Derek Brunson. Number 8, Paulo Costa. Number 7, Chris Weidman, the former champion. Number 6, Renato Souza. Number 5, Jack Hermanson. Number 4, Kelvin Gastelum. Number 3, Luke Rockhold. Number 2, Yoel Romero. Number 1, the interim champion, Israel Adesanya. Well, and the champion, Robert Whitaker. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying, guys. This division is one of the deepest divisions. This and lightweight and middleweight are deep ass divisions, bro. These are some deep ass. This is a deep ass division. So you got to be fucking on your shit, man. You got to be on your shit. You got to be on your shit, dude. And Israel Adesanya is good, but you know what I'm saying? Robert Whitaker is a fucking animal. He's the most dominant. He's a very dominant champ. You know what I'm saying? I just don't see. I don't see Israel beating Robert Whitaker because Kelvin Gastelum laid the blueprint on what style of fight that it takes to defeat Israel Adesanya. Because, like I said in the last video that I was just talking about this with, you know what I'm saying? That was a close fight. I mean, that was a close fight. And when you have a close fight and then you have a dominant 5th round, most of the time, if it was a very close fight and then one person has a very dominant 5th round, if it goes that far, that is usually the person that wins because that's the last thing you see. You know what I'm saying? Most of the time. But this fight was super fucking close. Like, that was a super close fight. Kelvin Gastelum hung in there and fucking gave Israel Adesanya the hardest fight of his fucking life. So imagine the fight that Robert Whitaker is going to give him. I mean, what the fuck? Oh my god, dude! Robert Whitaker is by far the hardest hitting champion, the hardest hitting person that Israel Adesanya has fought so far. He is probably the toughest. He is the toughest fighter that Israel Adesanya is going to have to face. Robert Whitaker is a fucking animal. Please tell me you haven't talked about Tony versus Anthony yet. We kind of talked about it on the couple last live podcasts I did with the guys. We talked about it. I haven't talked about it personally. I have, but we can talk about it if you want to. Tony versus Anthony. What do you mean, Tony versus Anthony? They already fought. Anthony Pettis and Tony Ferguson already fought, bro. What you talking about? You mean Tony versus Cowboy? Yeah. You talking about Tony versus Cowboy, right? but yeah, guys, Israel Adesanya, man, that's a tough. Robert Whittaker's tough, man. And another sneaky good fight too is Thiago Santos versus John Jones. That is a sneaky good fight, y'all. That living in the past, yeah, Cowboy, dude. I Cowboy versus Ferguson. Ferguson versus Cowboy, man. I just feel like, ugh, man, that's a hard one, man. That's a hard one, man. But I think Cowboy might be a little bit too stationary for Tony Ferguson. I feel like, hey, mom, my mom, guys, say shout out to my mom, guys. Israel is just another hype train. I don't think Israel's a hype train, dude. I don't think Israel's a hype train. I think Israel Adesanya earned the fact to have as many followers as he does right now. He earned that, bro. He earned that. He came in demolishing people, but I felt like he fought people he could win. He didn't fight any. He hadn't fought. The only real killer that he's fought in that division was Kelvin Gastelum. To me, right? He skipped over he dodged Paulo Costa. You know what I'm saying? He got around Costa. He got around a couple other guys too. Thiago versus Jones. I don't know, man. But yeah, Tony. I think Tony. What you talking about, Reggie? What I say about Kelvin, man? I've been talking about Kelvin. You gotta tell me what you meant by that. What did I say? What was I talking about? Y'all missing me. Oh, Thiago Santos versus John Jones. Man, this is gonna be a tough fight. This is gonna be a tough fight. I think John Jones is gonna fight John Jones's fight, but John Jones can get hit, dude. John Jones has been hit, and that's all that Thiago Santos needs is that one shot. He needs that one shot, dude. But I think John Jones will fight John Jones's fight. He'll do what he does best with that point style fighting, like I was talking about. John Jones is a great example of that point style fighting. That's what I was pointing out when I was talking about Elias Theodorou. When I was talking about Theodorou, that's what I'm not comparing Theodorou to John Jones, but I'm talking about that point style long range fighting. I appreciate that style of fighting. So I don't know, man. That's a tough fight. And then now you hear DC saying he wants John Jones again. I'm like, DC, no. Which that would be a great ending to DC's career, but no, DC. Ride off into the heavyweight sunset, man. Don't look back, bro. Don't look back. But yeah, man. I cannot wait to see the Adesanya Whittaker fight. I'm so excited about that fight that I cannot wait to see that fight happen. That's one of those fights that, they're both, from the New Zealand versus Australia. This will be one of those fights because neither one of them have quit, and we've seen Israel Adesanya get tested in that Kelvin Gastelum fight, but for Robert Whittaker, man, he survived two battles with Yoel Romero. That's fucking impressive. Israel hadn't fought anybody like Yoel. He's fought Kelvin. Kelvin Gastelum's a great fucking fighter. But I think when you talk about Kelvin Gastelum or Yoel, I think Yoel Romero may be a step above, even in this 41, 42, however fucking old he is. I think he's one step above Kelvin Gastelum. I think he punches harder. He's more explosive. He's stronger. He's a big fucking dude. And Robert Whittaker went there and beat him twice. Once with a fucked up leg and once with a fucked up hand. Will Israel turn out to be? No. MVP is a can crusher, bro. No, that's That's different. MVP is good, but MVP is a can crusher, bro. Mm-mm. No, Israel Adesanya is much more talented than MVP. MVP is good, but you know, I don't think he's gonna go out like that either. I don't think he's gonna go. But if he does start that, I mean, Robert Whitaker too. Robert Whitaker can put you to sleep, dude. So if he go in here, because Robert Whitaker ain't gonna be about that bullshit, that play around, all that celebrating, he doing the dance moves and shit in the octagon. Robert Whitaker ain't gonna be about that shit. I mean, he ain't gonna be able to go in there and play and showboat around with Robert Whitaker. Robert Whitaker will knock you the fuck out. Robert Whitaker will finish you. So don't, you know what I'm saying? Like my word of advice is like, don't go in there trying to show off in front of show off while you in there with Robert Whitaker, dude. Because Bobby Knuckles will fuck you. Bobby Knuckles will put you the fuck out. That's all I'm saying. Bobby Knuckles will finish you. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. I'm just being real. It's gonna be a good fight, though, guys. We have gotten light years off the topic, but yeah, guys, the UFC is cutting athletes. They shows hell ain't gonna cut none of them people we were just talking about. They ain't gonna cut none of them people, man. But they cut. I'm telling you, they cutting the edges off, man. Israel's going to get knocked out. I don't know if he'll get knocked out. If he go in there with that showboat and shit, man, he's got to be careful, man. He really does have to be careful. Because he will get. I mean, Robert Whitaker is very fast. When Robert Whitaker explodes, he explodes. He explodes. Who they cutting right now? They cut Elias Theodorou. They cut Wilson Hayes, and they cut Eric Shelton, and they cut a couple other guys too, man. They cutting from one division and signing from two other divisions. And there's a lot of people. You hear a lot of contender series. This person's gonna be on contender series. That person's gonna be on contender series. You hear a lot of contender series going on right now. So I think they're gonna use the contender series. Yeah, man. That's what I said, Arthur, man. I think they messed up by cutting Elias Theodorou, man. Elias is a good fighter, man. He's a damn good fighter. He's a damn good. That's a shocker, man. They cut Elias Theodorou. I think Elias could do well. Dude, I would be completely listen. I don't know about you guys, but I enjoy watching Bellator just as much as I enjoy watching the UFC. The production for Bellator is very, very good. The commentary is very good. You know, Bellator. I enjoy watching Bellator. You know, a lot of people say, "Oh, I don't like watching Bellator in comparison to the UFC." No, I enjoy watching Bellator just as much as I enjoy watching the UFC. So I would like to see Elias Theodorou if he does. It'd be nice to see him go to sign a contract with Bellator. Uriah lost last night to a 17-year-old in grappling. What? Wow. Harper saying what's going on in UFC. I don't know, man. I think they're getting rid of. I think they're trimming the divisions down, man. Cutting all the loose ends off the divisions, tightening up the competition. Letting the best of the best get in there. It's definitely not the same level as UFC. To my excitement. promised the interview. I got 2 of them coming up, guys. I got Austin Hubbard, who just made his UFC debut, and I got Felicia Spencer coming up too. Uh-oh. Can you guys hear me now? Can you guys hear me now? Okay. Yeah, I got Austin Hubbard coming up, guys. He just lightweight, just made his UFC debut. He didn't win his UFC debut, but that doesn't matter. I still want to talk to him. I got a lot I want to talk to him. I got, a lot I want to ask him, especially making that first entrance into, his first walk, everything. Like I want to interview Austin Hubbard. So that interview is coming up as well. And then Felicia Spencer, like I said, that's a huge win for Felicia Spencer. So Felicia Spencer has to, she's doing all of this stuff, press, what I'm saying? She's speaking here and there. So Felicia Spencer is busy, but she promised me before the fight that I will get the interview. So that is coming, guys. That is coming, guys. Make sure you guys hit that like button for me, please, please. Yes, Arpit Singh, Jessica I versus Valentina Shevchenko is coming. Yeah, it's coming, dude. It's coming. But a lot of people counting out Jessica I because it's Valentina. My views on that is Valentina Shevchenko she's great. Valentina is great. But Valentina is not the do-all, say-all. This flyweight division is competitive. And people sleeping on Jessica I. Jessica I is going to get in there and fight. No matter none of the silly stuff that Jessica I says, what Jessica I does, Jessica I going to get in this octagon with Valentina and she going to fight. This is going to be a fight. This is probably going to be the most exciting flyweight women's fight so far. This is going to be a fight. Because we know, go watch any fight of Jessica I's, dude. Jessica I don't lay down in a fight. She don't give up in a fight. Jessica I fights till the bell rings. So, Valentina, she is faster. Valentina's more trained. She's more skilled. But Jessica I she's a brawler, dude. She's a brawler and she loves the bang. Jessica I kind of reminds me of her and Veda Arteaga, the girl who just fought Elimele McFarlane. They very similar, man. They're very similar in the way they fight. So, that's huge. That's huge. It's going to be a good fight. It's going to be a good fight. I will be at UFC Greenville to watch Montana De La Rosa versus Andrea KGB Lee. That's going to be a good fight too. So I'm waiting to see that. I'm waiting to see that fight. So yeah, a lot of people sleeping on Montana De La Rosa, but she is fighting Andrea KGB, number 10 versus number 11, baby. I'm not counting I out. I is a brawler. She's going to fight. Yes, she's going. Jessica I gonna fight, man. Jessica I gonna fight. Jessica I say a lot of dumb stuff. She say a lot of goofy stuff. You know what I'm saying? But Jessica I can fight. So then you got Holly versus Amanda and all of that. I don't want to talk about none of that though. But Dustin Poirier versus Khabib is coming up next. Whenever they book this fight, I'm ready to see that fight. Definitely ready to see that fight. I think Khabib takes that one home, takes that belt right on back to Russia. Let's see. I'm still okay. Val's team for this one. Still on Val's team for this one. Yeah, man. I can't argue with that. I can't. If I had to put money on it, I would say Valentina Shevchenko, but can't count Jessica I out, man. Jessica I, she's hungry. She wants that belt. She's in a division that she belongs in. She's not fighting out of a division. She's in a division she belongs in. This is where she belongs. Flyweight is what she didn't do so well at bantamweight because she was outweighed, out strength, out muscled. everything. Jessica I is where she belongs, and she's doing well at flyweight, and that needs to be recognized. You know, I'm all about fairness. You know what I'm saying? Don't know what Dustin can do anything different. Khabib's going to win unless Dustin does the impossible. Yeah, man, and we've seen Khabib rock before. People saying, "Oh, Dustin can knock him out." Man, we've seen Khabib get rocked before, dude. And we've seen Khabib rock motherfuckers. So Dustin better he better be on the lookout for everything, because Khabib can throw them hands too. And I keep saying that people, Khabib ain't gonna. Khabib can throw them hands too. People forget that, man. People sleep on them grapplers, man. I keep telling y'all they sleep on them grapplers. Everybody thought Conor was gonna beat him up. He dropped Conor. Dude. He dropped, dude. Khabib can throw leather. So, but I think Khabib does Khabib and beats that ass. Speaking of Khabib, we got Tatiana Suarez versus Nina Ansaroff coming up too. Yes. Jessica, I can grapple too, Arpit. But yeah, dude, we got Tatiana Suarez versus Nina Ansaroff. I give this fight by landslide to Tatiana Suarez, man. I just feel like Tatiana gonna go in there and dominate Nina Ansaroff. Tatiana is going to dominate Nina Ansaroff, boy. I'm telling you, this is gonna be wild. This is gonna be wild. A lot of MMA coming up, guys. A lot of MMA. Guys, I got to get my day started. Thought I would jump on this live stream with y'all for a little bit. Talk some shit. You guys know how I do. Talk some MMA with you guys. A lot of MMA going on right now. You know, a lot of upcoming matchups. A lot of shit coming up. So, I ain't counting out Nina. Man. But I'm just letting it be known. Nina fucking with Tatiana Suarez. What you think about Cowboy? Oh, who you talking about? Cerrone or Oliveira? I think you talking about Oliveira. I didn't read that article, man. I just saw the headline when he got in some trouble. I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened with that. I guess I got to do some research on that. I don't know exactly what happened, but it is what it is. Ain't none of my business. I hope it don't hurt his career. I hope it don't hurt. A lot of people got a lot to say about this domestic violence with these fighters, but it ain't none of my business, bro. It ain't none of my business. But I'm getting off here, guys. You guys do me a favor. Please do me a favor and hit that like button. You guys would be fantastic if you smash the like button for me. But anyways, guys, this is your boy BJ. Let's keep the conversation rolling in the comment section, guys. After the video's over with, I love to get in there and mix it up. But yeah, guys, be on the lookout for I don't know. I think I'm probably gonna put something together with the guys from One Up and a couple other guys. Guys, I'm reaching out to a lot of guys. I like to bring guys in, man, and you know, guys from other podcasts, guys from other avenues of MMA media. Bring them in. Let's mix it up in here, man. I try to bring that flavor to y'all, the different points of views to y'all, man. I try to bring it in there and mix it up. But if you guys hadn't already, go back and check out the live stream I did with Davidson Baker. We teamed up with Davidson Baker. His podcast is called The Bottom Line with Davidson Baker. Great guy, absolutely cool ass guy, knows his shit, and loves to talk shit, and that's my type of people. But anyways, I'm out, guys. Y'all have a good Memorial Day, and keep it 100.